Let's jump to this story from the Daily Mail. Trump counter-snipers chilling text messages before assassination attempt reveal how gunman was one step ahead of Secret Service and local law enforcement. That's not true. The text messages reveal that Secret Service actually knew exactly what he was doing the whole time and did nothing. Take a look at this. Let's pull up these texts. Someone followed our lead and snuck in and just parked by our cars, just so you know. I'm just letting you know because you see me go out with my rifle and put it in my car, so he knows you guys are up there. He's sitting to the direct right on a picnic table about 50 yards from the exit. So at 4:26, Secret Service is aware that someone snuck in right behind him. They did nothing. They didn't say, hey, guy, what are you doing? They didn't say, hey, hands in the air. You have just snuck into a secure zone with Secret Service. I was at Mar-a-Lago with Secret Service, and they'd have a Secret Service agent, and you'd walk by and say, can I help you? Where are you going? And I'm like, oh, we're going to go downstairs. We're going to the party or whatever. And they'd be like, turn around, go the other way. You have to go down those stairs. And we'd be like, okay. You mean to tell me a guy sneaks in and they're like, that's fine. Take a look. There's more. Thumbs up. Roger that.
Yo, the just so
Nothing
you know
done.
in the one text has a lot of heavy lifting.
Has a lot of heavy lifting.
Why are you saying just so you know?
Here's more. They post pictures of the guy. They say, kid learning around building we are in. I think they meant lurking. AGR, I believe it is. I did see him with a rangefinder looking towards stage, for your information. If you want to notify SS snipers to look out, I lost sight of him. Also, a bike with a backpack sitting next to it in rear of building that was not seen earlier. Call it into command and have a uniform check it out. 5:40 p.m.
Seems a little lax.
Seems like
I lost sight of him. What?
Huh?
What's the explanation? He snuck in and they were like, that's fine.
All of this just seems like it's chaos. The other day we were talking about flooding the zone with information to just make everyone not know what's going on.
Yep.
All of this seems like it's part of that. Just dump everything out. Let everyone who believes anything believe anything they want.
Well, it's true because we're trying to figure out what happened on this day. And of course, we're believing these law enforcement sources because they're somewhat damning to Secret Service. So we're like, wow, look at these texts. They kind of knew. It could be way worse than we realize. And this could be the cover-up. I have no idea. But I will tell you this. It's pretty wild how the left just believes literally anything. Like the Project 2025 stuff. It's just like this weird made up stuff. And they're all like, yep, they just believe it.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. You know, I had this moderate journalist hit me up and said, they asked me, how come we're not audience captured? And I was like, I don't know what you mean. And she was just like, well, I watch all these other YouTube shows and no one ever pushes back on comments or chats. You're the only show I've ever seen even do it once. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, if someone comments and I think they're wrong, I'll tell them they're wrong, I guess. But this is the reality that most people will just march in lockstep. But that being said, on our side, you can't get away with lying like this. If I said something like the Second Amendment never protected cannons, the chat would explode. I'd make $10 million in super chats from everyone telling me I was wrong. And they'd be like, that's not correct. You are wrong. You are lying. Fix it. Correct it. Now, for the most part, because people watching know that I'm trying to get the facts right, when I get something wrong, they'll comment and they'll say, hey, Tim, you were wrong about this. It's this thing. Like the other day, I said River Seine, and they said, Tim, it's pronounced Seine. And I went, okay, thank you. Yeah. It is pronounced River Seine. Yep. And people will correct me on something. I'll say, oh, okay, well, there you go. I didn't know that. Yeah. Most shows don't do that. Most, like Rachel Maddow, none of the people watching fact check her. She says, Donald Trump brought a clown to his birthday party. And they'll go, what? For real?
Lord of the Rings is a gateway to white nationalism.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying lately.
She said that?
No, yeah.
Wait, recently she said that?
I think she said recently. Because J.D. Vance, right?
He's a fan of Lord of the Rings?
I believe so. It seemed like they were redoing what happened with, what's his name, who was reading Ayn Rand with Mitt Romney. Paul, what's it?
They tried making Lord of the Rings white supremacy a long time ago, claiming that orcs were black people and that it was like a reference to, and it's like, it's not. That's not. It's like Tolkien explains a lot of this stuff, and it's not a reference at all. Like, but they need everything to be racist because they want to destroy art and history and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But going back to the Trump stuff, the question is, as Tucker mentioned, we may get answers on this one because I think Hannah Claire was mentioning it before. Democrats get Secret Service protection as well, and if this is allowed to stand, who's going to trust any Secret Service protection ever again? Right.
I was actually kind of interested. I don't know if you saw this, but they announced who was going to be on the House committee that's investigating the Secret Service. And some of the Democrats that are on there, from my anecdotal research or my experience with their names, they tend to have good relationships with fairly conservative members of Congress. Like I'm thinking of Jared Mikowski. He's from Florida. I know he was like the Santa at Tim Burchett's Christmas party. Like they work together on a couple different committees. And so it's kind of interesting to me because when they had the January 6th committee, they put on people that Republicans were like, no, they're not effective members. They're not going to represent the side. Democrats are like, no, we're bringing them on. Whereas maybe there is a more neutral, less progressive faction of Democrats that are going to be on and are going to ask these real questions. Because again, like the Secret Service is something taxpayers pay for with the guarantee that they protect both Republicans and Democrats. So if you believe that this was only targeted at Trump and it's because of Secret Service failures, that means anyone protected by them is at risk. Unless you think, oh no, the Secret Service only wanted something to happen to Donald Trump, which would be also a problem.